Hello, my loves. Welcome back to Chemistry with Kismet Tarot. I am Monica, the Kismet Chemist, and today the reading is all about moving into your magical sovereignty. And these messages are being brought forth from the Norse goddess Freya, and they are messages about and from your solar plexus chakra. So the solar plexus chakra is the third chakra in the chakra system, and it is located just above your navel or belly button region in the center of your abdomen. And it's known as your place of personal power. But it is also an emotional center. It is what you feel, how you feel about yourself, how you interpret confidence and truth and trust, and you as a sovereign person. And sovereignty is really about standing in the authority of who you are and what you know to be true to yourself, regardless of what anyone else says. Personal power is not about standing above anybody else. It is not about overstepping anyone or stepping on top of anyone else to get to where you want to be. There is no hierarchy when it comes to personal power. And I think that's one of the reasons why when I sat down to meditate and to connect with doing a solar plexus reading, it was the goddess Freya who wanted to come forth. The whole purpose of this is to help you understand the concept of self-mastery. Now, Freya in mythology is seen as the goddess of love and the goddess of war and the goddess of beauty, and she's called a party girl, and there are so many different stories woven through history of who she was. But when I feel into her energy, when she shares her energy with me and gives me insight, what I see is someone who was confident in who she was. She knew her place in the world. She knew what she was here to bring into the world. And she is known as the Queen of Witches. She was a seer, an oracle, and she shared her gifts with other gods and goddesses, with the world. She honored those fallen in battle by bringing them to the land of the fallen and honoring them. She also loved her husband and spent much time searching for him because of the truth of their love. She is also known as a shapeshifter, and she drives a chariot, and her chariot is drawn by two cats that can either be depicted in black or gray. And it's the chariot with the cats that really came through for this reading, because those two cats represent essentially us. The ones that she takes under her wing and teaches her gifts to, and teaches her magic to, and teaches her truths to. And we return the favor in an energetic exchange by helping pull her chariot, or helping keep her story and her energy in the world. And as we grow and learn through her, one of the gifts that she bestows upon the cats pulling her chariot is she makes them into humans and into witches who have studied and learned under her, because she knows that they have come to understand their own power, their own personal sovereignty, and they have learned how to master themselves and use that power for the benefit of all, versus a singular benefit of just me, myself, and I. And in that way, she is calling today to us to understand a deeper level of our own personal power, what it is that our solar plexus is calling for us to learn, to develop, to grow into, and to hold to in the midst of a world torn asunder, in the midst of confusion and division and people working for themselves in order to rise to power, but not seeing that power comes from within, is gifted to us in a pure, trusting state that we will use this power the right way. I'm going to give you some time to look over these 3 piles. Feel into your solar plexus and let it tell you where your messages are. I will put the timestamps down in the description box, and I will see you at your pile. Hello, pile 1. If you chose this first pile, the solar plexus card that you chose is personal power, and it is the card 13, which reduces to a 4. But what I picked up immediately from the card 13 is actually the correlation to the death card in tarot. And there is this sense that your understanding and your ability to truly tap into your personal power is undergoing a rebirth cycle, a death and rebirth cycle. And that will bring it into that number 4 energy of a strong, stable foundation. So let's find out what your solar plexus wants you to know. This middle card is a signifier for your solar plexus currently. These are messages from the past about situations that have led you into this state, and these are messages for moving forward. So let's go ahead and take a look at your cards. So we have number 4. 4 of rainbows, which correlates to pentacles, is the miser. And then 6 with the lovers. Another 6 of water with the dream, which is similar to the 6 of cups. And then we have consciousness. Okay. And another 6. Wow. 6 of rainbows, which is the 6 of pentacles, and it's a card of compromise. So you have 4s and 6s. You may be seeing a lot of repeating 4s and 6s, but this is about the balance of your foundations. So in the past, the biggest challenge that I can see to your personal power is feeling as though I'm not seeing you as the miser itself. It's more as though you feel as though in many situations in your life, you have been on the other side of this brick wall. And it's a brick wall that keeps you out of your personal power, but also out of your abundance, your wealth, your success, your inner balance and harmony, out of your heart, out of living your dreams because you have felt in the past as though no matter what you did, nothing came of things, because there was this wall between you and the world, and you kept beating at that wall, just pounding at it, trying to break it down. But some walls are built in order to get us to understand that there is another way. There's another, it's almost like there's a secret entrance that you didn't realize was there because you weren't listening to the depths of your heart. And I know many people see the Lover's card as, a love card, a relationship card. But this is about loving yourself and loving every aspect of yourself. The more that you perceived the world as blocking you out and barring against you, it really truly was more of a reflection of you blocking your true self out and coming to the world as a much different person than who you truly are inside. And I do see that there was some breakthrough, and there is this energy of things being recalibrated is the word I heard. A recalibration or a rebalance. It's kind of like rewiring so that things work smoothly. And what happened that I can see is you realized that it isn't the world stopping you from making your dreams a reality. It was your mindset, your belief, the way that you saw your own power. And no matter how many times people told you that you were powerful, no matter how many times you told yourself that, it didn't come from the right place. It came from your mind. It didn't come from your heart. It didn't come from your solar plexus. There was no connection between them all that you were fully aware of. And because of that, it's kind of like saying affirmations without actually believing that they're going to do anything. You say it over and over and over again, but energetically and in your mind, you're going, I'm just saying this. It works for everybody else, but it's not really going to work for me because they don't make any sense. It's kind of like that. It's like you were in almost like a dream state, and then all of a sudden just something broke through. I see the dream card as what your solar plexus is sitting there saying, and it's you seeing that your dreams are a possibility, that anything that you dream is a possibility. And when you started shifting into this state, when you started allowing yourself to really dream or visualize or believe in yourself from a completely different place, not from your mind, but from your heart. And when you did that, it was like a shattering occurred. And all of a sudden you felt really differently about yourself, but you couldn't figure out what happened or how it happened. It was a shift, a rewiring. And with this personal power, you see this hand just like fisted up, but it's almost like you finally punched through that wall, and you just had to realize that it was you that built it. It wasn't the world that built it, but you built the wall. And once you realized that you were the one that built it, you knew that it was within your power to tear it down. And that is what you did, which is why you had this recalibration and rebirth occurring. What your solar plexus and Freya especially, like I can feel her energy very strongly saying is, moving forward, the more that you stand in your personal power and your sovereignty, your consciousness, your awareness of what your mind created back here and how it came to appear in the outside world, your awareness of this situation will prevent you from compromising who you are and what is right for you in favor of anyone or anything else going forward. Because when you are in a state of compromise, you're in a state of self-sacrifice a lot of the time. The compromise card itself is actually a warning to not compromise your values. It's about learning how to not compromise what you know to be true, and realizing that you are the one that creates the reality that you live in, and it is based off of your conscious perception. A lot of the times, if it has to do with our unconscious or our subconscious worlds, we aren't aware of it. But you're now aware of it. So it has no longer sat in the shadows and in the subconscious mind and in the deep recesses of your unconscious mind. It's sitting in your conscious awareness now. That you built a wall, and then every time you tried to move forward, you came across walls in the world. It was not the world blocking you out. You were creating resistance to the world. And now that that is in your conscious awareness, you won't compromise your values for someone else because you know your value. You know your worth. And in doing so, you know your own personal power, but you also know what happens if it's utilized in the wrong way. Because when it's utilized in the wrong way, when you're coming to the world in a distorted state of personal power, you will run into those walls. And it will feel as though every decision that you make, you're blocked from. And it brings and ushers in disharmony. And now is the time for you to move into your solid foundation of balance and harmony and true, unconditional love for yourself. That is your personal power. That is the source, the core of your personal power. So let's find out what archetype is working through your solar plexus chakra right now. Let me get the archetype for pile 1. Okay. We have the threshold and we have the womb. That absolutely makes perfect sense. The threshold is all about being right on the edge of a change, of a breakthrough, of a new way of being, a new life. You are at the threshold. It's being in that liminal space. And while you're in this threshold, what you're not aware of is you're literally holding pearls of wisdom like a mother holds a baby in their womb. You're nurturing your personal power. You're holding it in loving embrace of feminine receptivity energy. And I just saw 1313 on my clock. So you guys have a lot of death and rebirth going on here. But in this threshold, you're actually in an incubation state. You're in the womb. I just heard cosmic womb. And being in the cosmic womb, it's much like being in the void space or being in the unknown. It feels wrong. It feels off. You don't quite know what to do with it. But really, where you're at, what your solar plexus is asking you to do right now is to let yourself be nurtured and to nurture yourself through this. To give yourself love, to give yourself time, to give yourself distance from things that aren't helping you, things that aren't serving you. Give yourself the time that you need to go through this death and rebirth cycle. Don't rush it. Don't compromise the healing time that you are undergoing, because it takes as long as it takes to grow you and your truth and your power and your wisdom and your sense of self-worth in a very healthy and balanced way within. And you are surrounded in the loving arms of your guides and spirit right now, helping to nurture this part of you. I'm going to give you just a little bit for closing. This is the Soul Journeys Oracle. Okay, so first we have doubt. I release the need to know all the answers. And see, that doubt is one of the first things that comes in when you're in that unknown, when you're in the void space, or you're in the liminal, or you're in the womb phase. Doubt comes in because you feel as though you've made all this progress, and now am I running back into a wall? Am I being blocked back out? And then we have beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We have purpose. I know what I am here to do. This void space that you are undergoing is helping usher out of your energy field, out of your mind, by helping you become consciously aware of the doubts that you feel, and helping you learn that when you shift into the precipice of a change, the doubts are going to come up, and all you have to do is be consciously aware that they're there, so that they don't cause you to compromise where you're going, what your purpose is. Because as you go through this, your purpose in life, in the world, in a spiritual sense, in a physical sense, all of it is going to become abundantly clear to you. And you won't have to go back down the path of questioning and feeling locked out, and as though you don't have enough, or you are never given enough, or there is never any support or love for you, and all of that, because that's all coming into your conscious awareness finally, is now able to be transmuted. It's able to be alchemized into your personal power, because you know doubt now. You've felt it, you've touched it, you've experienced it, you've become consciously aware of it, and you have seen where you have compromised yourself for the sake of feeling that doubt, and you no longer are going to do that because you have a purpose in the world. So we're going to finish off with a couple of empowering questions, and I'm just going to put them down and read them off, and you can pause it and screenshot it if you would like to. And these questions will help you to work more through these feelings of doubt and fear and worry when you're in this womb state, to help clear it out, make it conscious, clear it out, and move forward. Okay. First we have, what would I do if I had enough time? What do I do when I have time? And then, what does love mean to me? And I just heard that they want me to show you the one on the back of the deck as well. It says, what are my best qualities? Okay, pile one. I know that being in the void space or in the liminal space on that threshold can be a challenge because you want to experience the dreams that you have. But don't rush the experience, because it is in the experience that we grow and we come into our personal power in the healthiest, harmonious, most balanced way imaginable. I want to say thank you so much to Freya. Thank you to your spirit guides. Thank you to my spirit guides. Thank you to Spirit. And thank you very much for being here and for hearing these messages. I am sending you all my love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If this video resonated, please hit the like button, share it out, and feel free to subscribe to my channel and hit the little notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. Thank you again. I love you. Bye. Hello, pile 2. If you chose the second card or the second pile, you chose the card Determination, which is the card 16, and 16 reduces to 7. And with your pile, when I was pulling the cards for your pile, and as I was sitting and connecting to your solar plexus, I could feel a shaky, almost sick to my stomach feeling. And the 16 in traditional Rider-Waite Tarot is the Tower card. And as you can see on the card, it's a school of salmon. And salmon are the fish that kind of defy the odds. They defy what we always say. When we talk about, in the spiritual community, when we talk about going with the flow, we say you don't swim upstream. You don't go against the current. Except if you're a salmon. A salmon will go miles and miles against the current. They beat themselves bloody because they know at the end of this journey they are going to make it to the place they are meant to go that is the most fertile for them to reproduce or for them to create. And with your pile, I feel so very strongly as though your solar plexus is coming through and saying, yes, it feels like you're going against the current. Yes, it feels like you have to beat yourself bloody, and there is nothing but tower moments, and there is nothing but all of these hardships. But it is about your determination, your commitment to your path, because you, on a soul level and on a conscious level, have chosen the path of resistance, the path others fear to take, in order to show the world that you can take this path and you can be successful on this path. And that flow and flowing with everything is dependent upon the individual and what their energy or their knowing internally, their personal power, personal sovereignty, and choices tell them is their flow. Sometimes some of us flow in a different way than the rest. You are one of those who goes against the grain. You don't fit in a box. You don't fit in a label. You don't feel like you fit in, but you do. You do, but you were designed to stand out. You were meant to stand out. You were meant to be the salmon swimming upstream against the current and fighting and grappling, knowing that it's your determination that will get you where you're meant to go. So these cards here are the past situation that has led you into this state. This card signifies your solar plexus state as it is, and this is advice moving forward. So let's go ahead and take a look at your cards. We have intensity, absolutely, and sorrow. So intensity is the Knight of fire or the Knight of Wands. And sorrow is the 9 of clouds, which is the 9 of swords. And then we have the Knight of Swords with fighting. And if you look, all of the arrows are literally pointing the way the fish are swimming. Like all the cards are quite literally saying, like, yeah, you're going the right way. You're going the right way. And moving forward, we have the card 8 of clouds, which is the 8 of swords and guilt. And the card 8 of courage. So this is about your world. This is about your mind, but it's about your world as well. The intensity of your mindset. And I can almost feel how these 3 cards triggered your solar plexus to just lock up. Because mine did too. Even though they're not my cards, I felt mine lock up with you. So please be patient. Take a few deep breaths. It's not what it seems on the surface. And that is an important message for you. Look, all your cards are pointing the way the fish are swimming. And it's because you have undergone a feat of intense sorrow, intense mental demand on you, on your physical life. It's like your mind overwhelmed your own inner strength, and it spread to your physical strength, it spread to your emotional strength, it spread to your spiritual strength. This situation right here, this is the situation that we call dis-ease. Dis-ease comes when there is a domino effect from a mind state that we do not understand, we do not seem to have control over. And it is intense, and you want to run away from it. And the more that you run away from it, the more it actually impacts you. Your intensity in running away actually intensified what you were feeling and experiencing. And one of the things that you're learning is, in order to truly fight the demons within you, there are things that you have to hold on to, things you have to release, and you have to stop guilting yourself. Your mind has been playing tricks on you, essentially. And it isn't like you're delusional, or I don't know why that word came through, but that's not what it is. Please understand. You're not crazy for what you're experiencing. And it doesn't do to fight against what you're experiencing, because what's going on is this intense upsurge of all the things that you have been fighting off. All the things you have been running away from, following the crowd and following the norms, because you know that you are built differently and it scares you. And because it scares you, you have put it down, bashed it down, and fought against dealing with it or seeing it. And what that has done, now that you understand that it's okay to go against the grain, it's okay to go against the box, it's okay to do what is right for you. It's okay to swim the way that you were meant to swim. It's okay to be the salmon. It's okay. You're now starting to fight those things down, but not in a repressive state. You are learning to fight by experiencing. You are learning to fight by letting the waters run over you and still moving through them in sheer determination, because you are ready to release these. You're ready for them to be gone. And you should be. You should be, because you don't deserve to feel the way that you do. And I get this sense that a lot of what you feel is put there, like it was put in a bottle, like shoving Mentos into a Coke bottle, screwing the lid tight, and then super gluing it shut, and just praying that the bottle itself doesn't explode. And that's your emotions and your thoughts, because you've been silent and you've been told that you were wrong and made to believe it was your fault. And that built, that sorrow from feeling and hearing and experiencing those things built up this level of guilt where you feel like if you do anything, if you make a mistake, if you step out of line, anything like that, then you should feel guilty. If you stand in your personal power and you are determined and take action towards what you want, you feel guilty. If you take a break, you feel guilty. It's as though you don't see that not everything is meant to be a fight, and the only fighting that you need to do is with your own sense of guilt. And that is what you really, your solar plexus right now is really coming forward with, saying that you have been fighting with this pure determination, and it's not fighting anybody else or anything else. It's literally fighting yourself to heal. So please don't feel guilty for the amount of time and energy it takes to heal, because the healing process is a knockdown, drag out bar fight in the back alley with broken bottles, and you don't have anyone with your back and the other guy has the entire city. That is what healing can be when you go through this. And I know what that healing is. I know how hard it is to come out of that. And there is no reason for you to feel guilty for doing what you need to do for yourself, no matter what. Please understand, no matter what. And I am speaking as a mother and a wife, as a friend who literally I stopped talking to nearly everyone in my life. My kids, I couldn't relate to them anymore, and my husband and I couldn't see eye to eye because I was fighting this energy myself a year and a half ago. And this guilt is the worst energy and one of the hardest to overcome. It takes more courage than you believe you have. But your solar plexus and Freya and your spirit guides are coming here saying, please hold on to your courage, because you will do this. You will see the other side of this state of mind. You will see the other side. You will see a blossoming of a new beginning. And if you can see here, it is literally a daisy wrapped in yellow, which is the signifying color of the solar plexus. And then it's surrounded by green. It is this loving wrap around of heart-centered energy around your solar plexus. It is you learning to love yourself through having experienced all of this, through knowing that you had to go against the grain, knowing you had to go upstream in the worst situation, in the worst environment imaginable. You did not have an easy environment, but you did it, and you're still doing it. Do not feel guilty for the changes you have made, for the person you are becoming, because you are becoming who you have always been. And that person will fight determination with determination. You will fight with determination and courage anything and everything in your life, but you won't do it with an intensity that destroys. You will do it with a soft, gentle, loving energy that resounds through the universe. I'm going to go ahead and pull. We have the archetype cards here. Can we get the archetype of the solar plexus for group 2? Okay. We have the comic. And we have the starborn. And we also have the riddle. And the back of the deck says the heart. What did I say? It's literally your heart is wrapping around your solar plexus to heal it. And then we're going to go ahead here. These are the soul journey card. Can we get some loving messages for pile 2? Happiness. That is the only one they want. Okay. Okay. We're going to start with the riddle. The riddle is the Gordian knot. There's no end, there's no beginning. You can't ever find where it started, where it ended, anything like that. And within this Gordian knot, there is this question of how is this going to come to be? How am I going to be able to do this? What is going on? It's about the experience. The riddle of life is that the riddle can never be solved. It is an unsolvable riddle. It is what it is. And this is 53, which reduces to an 8. And 26, which also reduces to an 8. Your world is going to change. You won't know how it changes. You won't know how it works or what, but all of a sudden something's going to happen and you're going to break out of this egg of intense healing. You're going to see the humor in the past, in the situations from the past. The comic is about really embracing the humor and of this journey we call life, this journey of our souls. The comic is about bringing laughter to it to lighten it. And eventually you'll learn how to do that in a way that is not self-destructive or deflection or painful or glib or, like dry sarcasm, but in a way where you infuse your lessons and your growth with humor, with laughter, with play, with happiness. And it says, I am aware that being happy means that I am on the right path. How can you feel happy? It's about this guilt. Like you genuinely have felt guilty for feeling happy. And this seems to be a theme of the collective lately. This guilt because should I feel happy? Should I be making jokes? Is it really right to do so? If we stop living our lives with things going on that we can't explain or overcome or do anything about, if we stop living our lives when these things occur, we stop our own soul growth. And then we're not helping anyone. We're not helping ourselves, but we're also not helping the world. We're not doing anything. The truest riddle to life is to keep going forward, to just be happy to be. Despite it all, to be happy to be, to live from the heart, no matter what the outside world looks like, no matter what your inside shadows are telling you, to just infuse happiness into your life. It's not always easy, but it is right for you. So I have empowering questions, and I'm not going to divine these. I am just going to read them to you, and I will show them to you. And if you want to pause the video and write them down or take a screenshot of them, if you feel called to do so. These are questions that you can ask yourself. You can journal. Anything that you feel called to do that can help you move through into the courageous fighter that you are, determined to find your happiness, to live your happiness, and to laugh. So first is, what was I intended to do in this life? And the second is, what is my instinct telling me to do? Wow. And finally, we have, what would happen if I didn't try to control my future? Those are some absolutely powerful questions. I apologize if you can hear Bella bellowing at me. I'm sure she found a Nerf dart again and she's been hoarding them. And yes, she's my cat. So pile 2, I know it feels like an uphill battle, but it's one that you were meant to overcome. And I do genuinely believe in you. So do your guides, so does Freya, so does Spirit. So now I'd like to say thank you. Thank you to your guides, to my guides, to Goddess Freya, to Spirit. And thank you so much for being here and for hearing these messages and for sitting with me. If this video resonated, please hit the like button, share it with somebody, and don't forget to hit the subscription button and the little notification bell up in the corner so you don't miss another one of my readings. Thank you again. I love you guys so much. Bye. Hello, pile 3s. You chose the 3rd pile. The card that you chose was Inner Strength. It's the card 14, which reduces to a 5. And 5s are all about change. And what I'm getting from this is there has been some sort of change that has made you question your own inner strength. Something, and I'm looking at this cracking open, something has really cracked open both your mind and your heart. Something that you believed would occur or was true or was meant to be has really truly changed and challenged what you believe internally about yourself. And your solar plexus is coming through right now to say, please see that you have an inner strength within you. Know that you have this strength within you, that you can weather any storm, that you can go through any breakdown, because as you do that, you alchemize, you transmute, you transform the pains and the suffering and the anguish and the disappointment and the loss, the confusion and the doubt. You transform that into pillars of strength from within. These 2 cards are about the past situation that has led you into this energy. This middle card is the signifier for your solar plexus energy right now, and these are advice for you moving forward. So let's dig into what it was that caused this breakage. The 10 of water, or the 10 of cups with harmony, and the Queen of fire or Queen of wands with sharing. And then what you're sitting at now is the 5 of cups or 5 of water, clinging to the past. And moving forward, you have the Fool. And the card 13, transformation. Wow. Okay. So what I am seeing for you is this breaking that happened is that you genuinely believed that you had found your true blue 10 of cups situation. 10 of cups is one of the happiest, if not the happiest, cards in the deck. For me, it's like the ultimate happiness, because emotional fulfillment in every aspect of your life means that every aspect of your life is fully fulfilled. And you genuinely thought that you were there. You were working so hard at getting there, and you were sharing your abundance and your understanding with the world. And you were hoping and praying that the world was ready for you. And it was like, I'm hearing screeching, like tires screeching to a halt. because it wasn't what it seemed, and it shattered. And right now, you're still thinking back to what happened before, what came before, what you believed was going to be there, and then it wasn't. And the more that you cling to the past, and you've got 2 5s here, the more that you cling to this past, the more you feel this breakdown of your inner strength, because you're sitting there looking at not where you were and knowing that you are that person still, but the breakdown of what was in the interactions, in the outside world, in the things that you had believed would be your, I'm hearing, ticket to abundance, essentially. It doesn't mean that you don't know what harmony feels like. It doesn't mean that you were wrong for sharing what you shared. It doesn't mean that there is no harmony and there is nothing that will be shared with you. None of that is true. When you cling to the past situations that have broken you, it takes you out of this truth. And right now, what is happening is this breakdown for true, genuine change. Because as soon as you make the decision to step into the new, to step onto your new journey, to do what it is that you know is right for you, from a state of harmony, from wanting to share because you know that you have the strength and the power and the wisdom and the gifts to share with the world. No matter what happened before, you have that inner strength because you have built it from the ground up. When you step onto that phase of your life, there will be this overwhelming, massive transformation of literally everything in your life. Everything in your life will completely transform because you're seeing that this is true to you no matter what happened back then. And for me, the 5 of Cups is always seen as the saddest card in the deck, but to me, the 4 of Cups is worse. So if you think about it that way, the 4 of Cups is what challenges your foundations. It's loving something so much when it's lost, that when something is offered to you, you can't bear to even look at it. But the 5 of Cups is someone who has been through that situation already and then underwent one similar, but they still have 2 cups. At the the 4 of Cups, you don't have any. The universe has to offer you a new cup. But you lost all of the cups that you had. Where you're at right now, you're clinging to that state, but what you don't see is whatever has fallen in the past has not fallen now. Because when you shift from the 4 of Cups to the 5 of Cups, those 3 cups were still spilt. They're the same cups. You have gained 2. You've gained 2. So you have not lost anything. You have gained harmony. You have gained your personal power. And now it's time to use your inner strength to overcome what came before so that you can walk forward without carrying that energy with you anymore. Because your life is ready to transform. Everything is ready to transform. They're just waiting on you to take that next step, to know that those 3 cups are gone. You have 2 cups. Let's move forward now. Those cups aren't being taken from you. They haven't spilled. They haven't broken. They're right there. You hold them in your hands. You hold them. You hold the harmony within your mind and your heart. You hold the power to share, to change your world and the worlds of others. So take the leap and let yourself be transformed and let your world transform. The past is already gone. You can't bring it back. You can't change it. It doesn't exist anymore. The only thing that exists is right now and the potential for what you're building. So we have the nectar, which is the card 58, which reduces to a 13 again and to a 4. 5s and 4s. This is about transforming your foundation. And then we have the card 8 with the maiden. And on the back of the deck, and they want this out front and center, the card 11, the queen. The queen. The queen. You're thinking back to when you were very naive, when you were very young, and you don't want to take a fool's journey again. You don't want to be that naive beginner's mindset. But you've done it before. You're doing it as a wiser fool. The fool is always going to be the fool, but it doesn't mean he hasn't gone through the hero's journey. It doesn't mean that he hasn't gone from the fool all the way through to the world, and then realizes once he reaches the world and it closes, it's time to start back over and be the fool. This is how all life goes. You're not the maiden anymore. You are the queen, which means that a queen taking a fool's journey transforms immediately because you are the one that holds the nectar. The nectar is all about the healing medicine. You have healing medicine within you. You are the queen. You literally have already become the queen. You don't get demoted when you take a fool's journey. You don't get demoted. You are this strength. You are this power. You know how to heal. You know how to rise up. You know how to overcome. And you are not naive anymore. You really aren't. And I can sense that there were times where you were genuinely naive. And you know what? I've been there too. I have been there too, where I believed the best in people when they did not have the best of intentions, and it tore me to pieces. When I had to come to the understanding and the realization that some people that I loved, that said they loved me back, genuinely only loved what I could give to them. They only loved me for what I had to offer to them, for the benefit that I gave to them. I was that naive, and I was that naive for years. I got burned over and over and over and over again, and that was the past state that I clung to, that I can't trust anyone. I can't make friends. I can't come to the world because the world will tear me down. That was the past I clung to, my 3 cups that fell down. Best friends burning me, best friends betraying me. Lover's spouse's spouse, my ex-husband. But, you know, it's the loss, the betrayal, the pain. And then you take it all in and you say, I was so naive and I was so stupid and I was so young, but you shouldn't be telling yourself these things because they're not true. You are still here. You are still breathing. You are still walking through life, and you have healed yourself time and time and time and time again, and you still give to others unendingly. Unendingly. You are the queen. You are the queen. You are the sovereign. You own your magic. You have forgotten that you own your magic because you've been shaken to your roots and asked to do something different finally. And it's not about doing something completely it's not about scrapping everything. It's about doing it from your heart, from your personal power. Aligning yourself, knowing that what you do is what's right for you. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. No one else has the right to tell you that your light and your power is not right. No one else has the right to tell you that you are one way or the other. You hold the pearl of the truth of who you are. No one else. You have that inner strength. No matter how much things break you down, no matter how much the past hurts, you have done this time and time again throughout this life and many others. And this journey is the journey to freedom. This is your freedom moment. stand on the edge of that precipice and scream freedom like Mel Gibson did, like William Wallace did. Scream freedom and let yourself leap. Trust that what you're doing, what is right for you, is right for you, which means it's right for the world. And it doesn't matter what anybody else says, because you hold this snake. You hold the literal embodiment of the infinite nature of the soul and life and gifts and power and being able to grow and change and shed old skins and step into the new no matter what. You know the jewel that you have within you. You know the power of the moon that you hold, the power of the mystical and the magical. You know that you have that within you because you've been there, you've done it, you've experienced it, and no amount of what happened before will ever, ever take away the truth of what you know of yourself. Ever. That's your nectar. Your truth is your nectar. It heals all of it. It heals it. And I just saw 15:15 on my clock. These are the Soul's Journey cards. We're just going to get a couple additional messages for you guys. Get messages for pile 3. We have peace. I am a being of love and I release all negative energy. Right here, I am putting it directly over clinging to the past. That nectar. Courage. I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. And this is all about your inner strength. And death, transformation. What did I say? I am learning that endings are merely beginnings. And on the back, pride. I love myself and I see myself in everyone. That is this queen energy. It's standing in your own inner strength, standing in your own inner power, standing up courageously and saying, you know what? I'm going to hold peace in my heart. I'm going to leap off this precipice. I'm going to let whatever needs to end because I get to begin something brand new. I get to go on a brand new journey, and I have done the healing. I have done the healing, which means that this new journey is free of that as soon as you free your mind of it. That's all you have to do. Pride is not a toxic trait. A lot of people, there is that saying, pride comes before the fall. But there is a sense of inner pride. And in that, it is sovereignty. It is okay to feel proud of yourself for where you have been and where you have come from. Knowing where you're at now. It is okay to feel that. That does not make you boastful. It does not make you cocky. It is not wrong. I don't know who needed to hear that, but that came through very strongly. So I have these empowering questions, and I'm not going to divine them. I'm just going to read them to you, and I will show them to you. And you can choose if you want to pause the video, screenshot it. These are really great for journaling prompts, for working through all of this. And in your state with being ready to take the next step into a new transformation of your entire life, maybe these will help unlock something within you. So the first one we have is, what is my gift to the world? I'm going to put that here. The table's all slippery. Oh, who am I? And then, is there something I should let go of to be able to move forward? Oh my goodness. You know, arguably, I didn't really have to say much of anything at all because, I mean, the cards said it for me, really. And then on the back of the deck, we have, what are my best qualities? Pile 3, be proud of yourself, because I know I am. I know your spirit guides are. I know the goddess Freya is. I know that spirit is. I know your ancestors are. I know the world is. I know the people who love you genuinely are. So be proud of yourself too. It is not wrong, because you have done miraculous things for yourself. All you have to do now is just let go of the past. Know your truth. Know your sovereignty. Know your magic. Because you are magic, and you are the authority over what you do and how you move in this world. I love you guys. Thank you so, so much. Thank you for your energy, for how amazing, absolutely amazing you are. Thank you. Thank you for being the person that you are out in the world. Thank you to your guides, to my guides, to Goddess Freya, to Spirit. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is always a blessing for me to feel these energies and share these messages and experience what I experience when I sit here. It is truly on a whole new level that I have never experienced before, and I am always honored and blessed. So thank you. If this video resonated, please like and share it. And don't forget to hit the little subscription button and the notification bell up in the corner so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. I love you guys so much. You are amazing. Thank you again. Thank you, thank you. I will see you in my next video. Bye.